Hey everybody, Jill Amber here, hope you're all okay. Video this week is actually being done in my car. Strange place to do it, but just arrived at the club and it's very rainy and incredibly windy outside. But that actually comes onto video that I wanted to do this week regarding the wind. Now, summer's gone, we're now going to be playing in a lot more windy conditions, and when I play with amateurs at the club, they just make really a lot of mistakes on how they play shots into the wind. So regarding windy conditions, if you've got a right to left wind, left to right wind, you can play with that wind, obviously, which seems quite obvious. So if it's a right to left wind, you simply just aim right and allow for the wind to move it. You have to hit it obviously fairly high. A lot of people think, oh, the wind didn't touch that. Well, if you don't hit the ball very hard, you don't generate a lot of spin, so that's why the ball flight will become much lower. Obviously, lower ball flights don't get affected by the wind so much, but it's into the wind I'm really talking about. So into the wind, when I'm doing playing lessons, people just simply try and hit the ball harder. So say normally people hit 7-iron, 6-iron, 150 yards, say, sort of average club player. Into the wind, they just think, oh, I need to hit this harder. Or they might take one club extra. But that really won't make much difference. But also, once you hit the ball harder, you generate more spin. It's the spin which gets the ball airborne. Once you hit a ball, it's the ball riding up the club face. It's the backspin that actually climbs the ball up into the air. The harder you hit it, obviously, the more spin you're going to generate, the higher the ball flight. So that's what you don't want to do. The harder you hit it, the more you're going to hit. The harder you hit it, all you're going to do is generate more spin. You just get what we call a ballooning flight, where the ball will just balloon up into the air and just stay up in the air for a long, long time. And obviously gets more affected by the wind. And obviously a lot of the time in very windy conditions into your face, you can actually see the ball starting to come back towards you, especially with a wedge or or 9-iron or some high lofted club like that. So when you're into the wind, don't hit it harder. All you want to do is swing a lot easier, so just swing a lot smoother. The smoother you swing, the less spin you're going to generate on the ball, and then obviously that means that the ball flight's not going to be high and climbing. It's going to be much lower, much more penetrative, and it's obviously hopefully going to land and bounce on a little bit, and it's going to keep you under the wind. So experiment with it a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to decelerate, you don't want to slow down through impact, but you just want it to keep it a nice, more smoother swing. But just practice out on the range. Just hit a few shots and just try and practice your swing to be much, much smoother. You can slightly play the ball back in your stance, slightly, just to make sure you get a slightly descending blow, just to bring the flight down. But again, you don't want to add too much spin to it. So keep the swing nice and smooth, nice and easy into the wind to keep the flight down. Experiment. Use a slightly lower lofted club as well if you want. Use some 5-irons and 4-irons from maybe 120, 150 yards, where you'd normally sometimes be using wedges and 9-irons, and just keep that swing smooth. Keep the spin down. You're going to bring the flight much more down, and you're not going to lose it in the wind. Okay, practice that. I'm going to try and get out and brave these horrible conditions.